Huge welcome everyone to our Juice Plus Success Summit 2017, where we're giving you the tools and inspiration to not just kickstart 2017, but start it off with an explosion. And our next presenter is definitely going to give you some wisdom. He has exploded his business since joining us earlier last year. So when did he join us? Well, he's been in Juice Plus not quite a year yet. It's the middle of February 2016 was when he actually joined our business. And I actually had one of the corporate guys from head office yesterday email me and go, who's this guy? It looks like he was shot out of a cannon. So, yeah, so he's definitely got some wisdom to bring to the table. What did he do before Juice Plus? Well, he owns and runs a digital marketing company for hotels and resorts. The favorite thing around the product range, that after spending thousands of dollars and years of effort with numerous naturopaths and doctors, it took the simplicity of fruits and vegetables in a capsule to give the body what it needs to heal itself. And as a result, I've seen tangible results in my entire family's health. And himself and Fiona are parents to 4 beautiful children as well. What attracted you to the business? That I had the opportunity to purchase a franchise in a proven system that I saw with my own 2 eyes after other people had followed and had tremendous success with. I mean, you wouldn't buy a franchise in a system that didn't work, right? So absolutely. And if you were starting all over again, what is one thing you wish you knew? The more you know, the slower you go. Amen to that. We give new franchisees way too much information in the beginning, and I've been a culprit of that. When a franchise first starts, they are usually the most excited they will be in this business. We slow them down by giving them too much information. We just need to inspire them and give them the tools to start conversations. Absolutely. Whatever's in front of you now is what you need to know, and you'll learn everything else as you go. Well, Bryan, your talk today is about people buy your vision. And so I'd love to hand over to you to share your wisdom that has created massive success in your business in such a short time.
Awesome. Thanks so much. It's a privilege being on here. So thank you, and thank you to everyone that's signed in today. Yep, my talk is around vision. I love listening to people's vision. I love learning about people's vision, and it inspires me. Vision inspires me. So before we get started, I suppose we'll just talk a little bit about what I believe a vision statement is. I believe a good vision statement is just that, a statement of a vision, a look ahead into the future. A vision statement is an articulation of a view of the world that you are working towards, not what you are expecting now. A vision statement will inspire growth. It will inspire you to build a map, a how-to, on how to achieve the vision statement. When you have a vision statement, you'll be moving forward. You'll be growing. When you can clearly define your own vision statement, you will actively pursue the vision. When we're pursuing our vision, we are growing. I'm going to repeat that. When we are pursuing our vision, we are growing. When there's no vision, there's no growth. Now, this is relative to all areas of our life. When there's no vision for our health, for our wealth, for our family, for our relationships, or for our soul, there's no growth. In the book of Proverbs, God teaches us, where there is no vision, the people perish. When there is no vision, there is no growth. Like what Tony Robbins teaches, if you're not growing, you're dying. You're perishing. So I believe people buy our why or our vision, not what or how you do it. Simon Sinek has an amazing book called Start With Why. He also has an excellent TED Talk where he explains quite clearly why some people, some organizations are able to inspire where others aren't. He explains that every single person, every single organization on the planet know what they do. Some know how they do it. Some call it their USP or their unique selling proposition or their value proposition. But very few people or organizations know why they do it, their why. Their why isn't to make money, that's a result of their actions. By why, he means what's their purpose, what's their cause, what's your belief, why do you do what you do, why do you get out of bed in the morning. People buy why you do it, not what you do. Apple is an example of this. If Apple was just like every other company, their marketing message would be, we make great computers. They are beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. want to buy one. That's how most companies communicate with us these days. But Apple, we all know Apple is different. Their marketing starts with why. Here is their marketing message. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. We just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? Totally different. They start with why, then move on to how, then what. So why I believe vision is important. I believe your vision for your business, for your team, is the most important part of this business. What do you see in your future? What does your world look like? And I think we need to think about that. If we don't have a strong vision, if we don't know where we're going, we should stop and think about what does our future look like. The key to your vision is being able to define it with clarity. What does it physically look like? Your vision needs to be so strong that people want you to visit their city to share your vision. It's the talk of the promised land and inspiring people that we can get there together. That's the core of the vision. Martin Luther's I have a dream is just a vision. Bring Martin Luther to an event, everyone wants to hear I have a dream. When we are invited to an event, people need to want to hear our vision. Every time you speak, your vision needs to be incorporated into the speech. We need to tell it and tell it and tell it. If you say it and no one moves, it's not good enough. If it doesn't inspire people, it's not good enough. If people aren't moved to join your movement, your cause, then it's not good enough. Practically, until you have the vision, you can't have the game plan, because the game plan is the map, but that comes after the vision. Why are we doing what we do? I'll give you two practical examples, or I'll give you a practical example of two different people in a three-way chat with a prospect. You tell me who you would follow. Person one builds rapport, takes an interest in the prospect, asks questions, then talks about why they do what they do, their vision. They talk about what the product has done for them personally, or other people they know, what the business has done for them and other people they know. They speak with confidence. They are confident in where they are going and believe in the product and business so much that they are excited to get the prospect started because they know it's going to change their lives. Their verbiage is, so what else do you need to know to make a decision to get started? Their verbiage is, let's do this now, let's do this together. Person two starts off the same, builds rapport, takes an interest in the prospect, the same as person one. Talks about what they do, but not their why. They may talk about why they got into the business, which may have just been to pay for their groceries. They talk about the product and their own business story, same as person one. Then at the end, their verbiage is, okay, hon, so you can buy now or later when you're ready. Get started now whenever you're ready. Take as much time as you like to think about it. We're here for you whenever you're ready. Do you see the difference? Person one has confidence in the product and the business, is inspiring them around their why. They are transferring their confidence to the prospect. The prospect is getting off the phone ready to conquer the world, ready to start conversations. They're pumped. Let's not forget in the beginning, this is when they are the most excited in this business. This is when the prospects, new prospects, are going to see excitement, going to see passion. Person two has instilled no confidence in a prospect because person two isn't confident themselves. It's wishy-washy. There's no certainty in where they are going. The prospect isn't inspired that the product or the business is going to change their lives. Now, I understand some people can't afford the product, can't afford the franchise fee, and need to wait. But we deal with that only when it comes up. Person two brings that up without the prospect saying anything. I've seen it happen time and time again. And we coach around this with our team. But unless you're confident, unless you have belief in where you're going, where the product or the business is going to take you, then people will see that. People want to be led. They want to be led by leaders that have certainty. If you believe in the product, if you believe in the business, that confidence that you have needs to be transferred to your prospect so they believe they can do what you do. So in the beginning, I understand when we joined this business, our vision might not be very inspiring. For Fiona's my wife, and it was to replace her wage. But very quickly, within a month or so, that shifted. My belief in the business grew from that point. I knew where I was going. I owned where I was going. I knew this opportunity was much bigger than Fiona and I. I knew this was the opportunity to change thousands of lives, not just by the product or the team in the business, but also through giving at our local church. One of our visions is to sponsor 100 children and to be the biggest givers at our church. When I made that shift, when I owned my vision, something changed. Prospecting became easy. Three-way calls became fruitful. Inspiring people became easy. People want to follow certainty. People want to follow a leader that knows exactly where they are going. People buy your why, your vision. When we met with Kira and Adam back in February of last year, I felt inspired. I could see the certainty in where they were going. It was certainty in where they were going that inspired Fiona and I to join this business. People aren't going to buy your vision if it's about you. I just want to make money. I just want to pay the grocery bill. It needs to move people. People need to want to hear it. People need to be inspired by it. People need to retell your vision. People in your team need to use your vision to inspire their prospects when they don't have their own vision or their own story. In the beginning, our vision was small, to replace Fiona's wage, and I knew that wouldn't inspire anyone. But just like my leaders, when they first started, they used someone else's vision to inspire people. So we did the same thing. We used our upline's vision to start conversations and inspire people. We didn't have the vision, but we used someone else's vision that we were inspired by. Your vision might be the same as your leaders. That's okay. If we look back in history, there are tons of leaders that had a vision that people followed. I mean, probably the most famous is Hitler. His vision was evil, but millions of people followed him. His vision inspired so many people so much that they all discarded their values and blindly followed him. Don't stress if you don't have your own vision. Someone above you does. Find it, follow it, learn how to tell it. And learning how to tell it is a fundamental skill in this business. Being able to tell a story is what is going to inspire someone or help inspire someone. It is a skill that we all need to develop. When I think about some of our team I've had coaching calls with, a number of our team have struggled with attracting team. Getting customers hasn't been a problem, but getting team has been difficult. They were doing everything right. Their DMO was perfect. They were starting conversations. They were reaching out to people. But what they were missing was their ownership in where they were going. There was no why. No one knew their why. They didn't own the destination and people could see it. After a few changes, there was a shift in them as leaders. And from that point, their business has grown and they've attracted team pretty much within weeks of making those changes. If you're not attracting team, maybe it's time to evaluate your vision, your story. Is it inspiring? If it isn't, maybe you need to find someone's that is. How are you delivering your vision? Is it with certainty? Are you telling your story with passion? Are you confident? Do you own, absolutely own where you are going? Do you absolutely own where you're going to be in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years? Within months of joining this business, I knew we would be NMD within 12 months. I knew it. I could see it. I was going for it. I had certainty around it. We had the system in place and we were going for it. I know where I'm going to be in 2 months and I know where I'm going to be in a year, okay? Because I believe in what we're doing. I believe enough in ourselves, in our team, to know that they are followed the vision, they've caught the vision and they are working towards it. People join this business because of you. They buy into your vision, your passion. So I think you need to ask yourself, would you follow you? Are you an attractive leader? Are you speaking passionately? Are you inspiring people? Are you absolutely owning where you're going? Because people want to be led. Everyone's looking to be led. Millions of people were led the wrong way by Hitler, but they all want to be led. So I'm going to give some practical exercises on how to define your vision in case your vision isn't inspiring enough. Okay. Why do you do what you do? That's a question mark. That's a question. Begin your statement with I believe. Your vision statement should start with what you believe, why you do what you do, your purpose or cause on a higher level than what Juice Plus does or makes. Try starting your statement with the words I believe or I envisage a world. You'll find what follows will be quite different than what you expect. Don't write more than 2 lines for what you believe. This is not the place for long-winded descriptions about what Juice Plus does or what your team does differently or its value to the world. The opening of your statement shouldn't require more than a line or 2 to capture the world you imagine. Leave what you sell out of it. This is a statement of your vision, not what you do or what you sell. How do you do it? Explain how you think and act. Now that you've articulated why you do what you do, it's time to explain how you do it. There are probably 2 to 5 distinct characteristics or values about how you operate that makes you unique in the way you are going about realizing your vision. What do you do? What are you doing to bring your vision to life? You've articulated your belief and how you go about doing what you do. Now explain what you do. The things you sell that will serve as proof to the world or why and how you do things. Put your business goals on another piece of paper. No matter how robust your business goals belong somewhere else. They are the result of pursuing your vision and holding yourself accountable to your guiding principles or values. Your goals may serve to motivate a few people in your team, but most people are not inspired by financial goals or financial objectives. They are, however, inspired by a pursuit greater than any one person or product. So I'll finish on my vision, how I articulate where we are going and what we are doing. And just, this might inspire people, but it's definitely worked for us. So my vision, I believe mums should have a choice of doing mum care instead of daycare. I believe parents should have the choice to prioritize their own family's goals instead of their employer's goals. I envisage a world where parents never miss a special occasion because they're being paid to build someone else's dreams. I am passionate about teaching people how to use their own social media profiles to create financial freedom by inspiring healthy living. So that vision has worked really well for us. We did not have that in the beginning. It was Kira and Adam's vision because our vision was too small, but within months it shifted. This has inspired. I know this has worked because honestly, when I'm on a 3-way call, when it's fairly easy to inspire people around that. It has worked for us, but it's the way also I deliver it. I've owned it. I know where we're going. I know that we're touching thousands of lives over the next few years, and people want to be led by that. So, Celine, that's where I'm at.
That is awesome, and it's definitely working because you've built a beautiful community of people. You've got a very, very strong clubs business with, I know, a big dream and big vision ahead as well. And somebody just asked if you wouldn't mind repeating your vision because it was very, 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 very lovely.
Sure.
Would you mind repeating it?
Sure that. I believe mums should have a choice of doing mum care instead of daycare. I believe parents should have the choice to prioritize their own family's goals instead of their employer's goals. I envisage a world where parents never miss a special occasion because they're being paid to build someone else's dreams. I am passionate about teaching people how to use their social media profiles to create financial freedom by inspiring healthy living. That vision, some of that is not ours. Kira has the whole inspiring people around mum care instead of daycare, but that meant so much to us.
Yeah.
We relate to mums and dads and families. That's who Fiona and I are. That's our target audience. That's the tribe, our tribe. Obviously, we can work towards everyone else, but that's who we attract, and that's our vision, is around families having a choice, mums and dads having choices.
And you can see that happening. You're raising up leaders that are, families, and that as well. Your latest QNMD, Jody, and that as well is, just raising up through, and these are parents that want to have different choices. I totally agree. There were some great pearls of wisdom in there. Just a couple of things to recap, guys. I'm a firm believer that's a God-sized dream within all of us, and a vision within all of us. We just need to kind of get out of our own way sometimes. And like Bryan said, in the very beginning, sometimes your vision is not big enough. You haven't, I suppose, learned or given yourself permission to actually dream and have that vision. Hold on to somebody else's. Use those stories. It's what's powerful about what we do. There are so many stories and visions, which are pretty much, those stories generally are people's visions being played out. And so you get to use them. You've got permission to use them and to share them. Just make sure that you give credit. But then again, sitting down and doing the exercise Bryan talked about, why do you do what you do? And beginning that statement with I believe, and there's just an emotion that raises up, just even as you were saying it, Bryan, I could feel that emotion raising up within me, really knowing why I do what I do. And when there's certainty, people will follow that certainty, but also when there's certainty, we don't hear any of the other noise, like Kira says. We don't hear any of the other, I suppose, the objections and all those things are there, but we quickly can move on from them because there's a certainty about the impact we want to make. And as you were talking about, when you shifted and you looked at where your impact was, about, sponsoring those 100 children in your church, and that, again, the no's are not going to make any difference because there's the next person out there that's going to be ready to come along on the vision and on the mission with you. And that's the thing. Find your vision and follow it and learn how to tell it. I think that was actually really important too, is practicing, guys. As you get this down pat, and I would be sitting around, if it was me now, I'd be looking at doing a little bit of a vision workshop with my team, get them around the kitchen table, do the exercise as Bryan laid it out, replay this call, and then practice sharing it. Practice telling people about it. And you know what? You'll fall over your words and you'll trip up every now and again, and that doesn't matter. We don't need to be perfect. We just need to be present in the moment and share. Make it a goal to actually do the exercise, do the work, and then practice it. And I really encourage you as well to watch that video with Simon Sinek, the TED Talk. It's a brilliant one. Absolutely fantastic. Loved it, Bryan. There was some great wisdom in there. And as I said, it's obviously working. You're building a beautifully strong business, and yourself and Fiona are impacting many, many lives already in just this short time, not even your first anniversary yet. We can't wait to see what happens over the next 12 months as we go forward from here. And as with all of the leaders, I asked for some sharing of resources. And so, well, no surprising, the book that Bryan recommended was Start With Why by Simon Sinek. And you can find that, as I said, the TED Talk as well. And GoPro by Eric Worre, two great, simple books that are very, very powerful. And I loved your song, Thunderstruck AC/DC. I didn't think we'd get an academic song in here somewhere, but we have.
Well, it was either that or Eminem, and I thought, maybe academic was more appropriate.
I think we had an Eminem song. I think somebody mentioned it. I thought you were going to put up there, Who Wants to Be a Billionaire, but
Yeah, I was, but I'm about winning people, not turning people off.
That's just a little in-house joke, people. And favorite quote again, I love this one: "Teach a man to fish, and you will feed him for a lifetime." And it's so true, guys. We talk about, and within our business, are we enabling people to have to rely on us? Are we empowering them to be the best person that they can be? And that's pretty much that. You know, we can give them a fish, and that's great. I'll feed them for a day. Teach them how to fish, and you will feed them for a lifetime. It's exactly the same. Empower your teams to be the best that they can be. I think.
Can I just add? Can I just add to that? Sometimes it's hard love that you need to give people, because we see it all the time. People rely too much on their upline for their success. So there is hard love in the sense that, look, I don't know where that information is. This is where you can find it. All the tools are here. You just need to go and look for it, because it's an independent virtual franchise. You need them to be able to stand on their own 2 feet, because you're not always going to be available. And I know it feels good to give people information all the time and to be needed and wanted, but it's not serving you or them for their future. And our goal, Fiona and I's goal, is that this organization, this tribe keeps growing without us having to be involved in it all the time. There's a bit, and because everyone needs to be independent.
And it's empowering. I mean, and I learned that the hard way, in my, beginning journey. I was doing everything for people because I thought that that's how, that was how I'd been trained. And when I would let go of their hands, they would fall flat on their face, and I was wondering why people were not being successful. And it was that. It's just shifting that, asking the question when they ask you, well, if I asked you that, what would you tell me? Or if, where do you think you might find that information? And just empowering them. It's a whole different thing, and it just creates, when we have to do it for them, we're actually making it about ourselves. It's our ego wanting to feel important and wanting to feel, valuable in that. When we actually turn it on its head and empower them, we're actually serving them. So yes, some great words there, Bryan. And I asked your final words of wisdom. And I love what you have said here, because it's so powerful. This is a simple business. It's not always easy, but it's simple. And at its core, the most fundamental skill we need is to be able to tell stories. In the beginning, you might not have a story, but someone else above you does. Find a story that resonates with you and tell it. Tell it to everyone within your reach. How many conversations have you started today? How many times have you shared the story? So at the end of the day, guys, what Bryan is saying is that, as have all of our speakers right across, it's around that certainty. Be certain, and when you haven't got a story to share yet, use somebody else's, because there's someone around you that has that story that resonates with you, that you will be able to own, until there's that time when you've got that belief and certainty around sharing your own story. And consistently do it. At the end, each day people say to me, what's the one thing I need to do? I say, talk to people. And whether that's talking via social media, whether it's talking face-to-face, this is a people business. There's no two ways about it. So unless you're having those conversations in whichever way that means for you, then we're not working our business. So, Bryan, thank you so much for sharing with us this morning. Really appreciate your wisdom, and can't wait, as we say, to see what as the journey unfolds, because this is definitely your year, and it's all of our team out there. Let's grab it, guys. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks so much. What an honor. Thank you.